So the question is, what separates people who are really successful from the people who go a certain distance and then essentially get stuck? I mean, there's a lot. If it was just one thing, it would be easier to be really successful. One big one is, actually a lot of it comes down to being able to handle ambiguity. Because when things start working, when you start growing, it's because you found alignment between something you've got and you can do with what the market really wants. And the first time you figure that out, at least part of it is luck. Because you don't have any muscle memory, you don't have any pattern matching, you just kind of lucked into it. You don't realize how much of it is that luck of right fit, right opportunity. But the thing is, that fit doesn't last forever. You evolve, your abilities evolve, the landscape evolves, the market evolves. It doesn't stay working forever. And it's funny, in my head, I'm still like a kid just starting out online. But in reality, I've been doing this for like 15 years. I'm a dinosaur in this industry. And I've been doing this long enough that I've seen a lot of these cycles. And there's a pattern that I notice. Whenever you see someone who has just like exploded onto the scene, they're doing super well, like 3 to 5 years later, they're going to be starting to publish blog posts and write articles and make videos about how XYZ just doesn't work anymore. I've seen that about people aren't buying online courses anymore. Email marketing doesn't work anymore. People don't want to go on webinars anymore. And it's never true. I mean, there are broader cyclical, things that happen, but it's just, right place, right time. It was all working, and then the market moved, and it's no longer unreasonably easy. And it's fine. It's good. You want it to be unreasonably easy because you found that alignment. We have to keep refinding it. And I think if you look at a lot of consultants, they're basically people who figured out a good trick. And they go from client to client applying that good trick. But then when that good trick doesn't work, they're like, no, I don't know, right? I don't know what to do. And they just move on to someone else. And I guess that's okay as a consultant, although, there's a shelf life on all good tricks in general. But as an entrepreneur, you can't go back to just, I want to apply the good trick that already worked. It's this balance of, I'm going to keep moving forward despite the fact that things aren't working and I'm figuring it out. And I'm not going to keep trying to go back to that one thing. Right? The really successful entrepreneurs that I've met, they're really good at sticking to the knitting of doing what's working while also keeping an eye on what is the next thing that I'm going to experiment with and figure out. They're okay sitting in that ambiguity. And I mean, ambiguity is a topic that I talk about on a lot of different videos and a lot of different places, because I really think it's both so important and one of the most important things for entrepreneurs. It's also incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard and uncomfortable for people. There's a great book about this called Nonsense by Jamie Holmes. I recommend it to everyone. It's not a book about marketing or business. It's a book about our psychology, how human beings deal with being able to be in a place where you can say, well, I don't know, and just being okay with that for a little bit. But the most successful entrepreneurs I know are okay sitting in that space of I don't know, without trying to just force themselves no, let's go back to the last thing I did know and force that to work. It's like sitting with that I don't know is the most important thing. And it's incredibly hard. I think some people are just naturally more comfortable at it, but it's a little bit like being naturally good at basketball. You can be naturally good, but you still got to work at it an awful lot. And you can be not naturally good and you can still get a lot better at it. So, if it comes more naturally to you, great. Congratulations. That's wonderful. You have a base to build on. If it doesn't come naturally to you, then, too bad. But all entrepreneurs would do much better by building that muscle, by practicing it, by getting more comfortable sitting with ambiguity, sitting in that place of, I don't know, because you can't learn something new. You can't figure out something new, especially the big amorphous puzzles that are, how do I make my business work, without sitting in that place first.